afternoon, everyone. Everyone can hear me? I'm Nicola Woods. I'm the event manager for Speciality and Fine Food Fair, and I'd like to welcome you to Pitch Live, sponsored by our friends at Virgin StartUp. We have 3 wonderful startup companies who will pitch their exclusive products to our amazing panel of judges today. I would like to wish them all the very best of luck. This is always one of my favourite events. So without further delay, I'd like to hand over to Sutin Yang, who's head of scale-ups at Virgin StartUp. Over to you, Sutin.
On the whole, I really enjoy it.
Like how does
Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. So thanks for coming today. Very excited here to be at the Pitch Live event. I'm Sutin Yang, head of scale-ups at Virgin StartUp. And for anybody who hasn't heard of Virgin StartUp, we're a nonprofit started by Sir Richard Branson in 2013. Some of you may have heard of him. He's an entrepreneur. So he really started up to help other entrepreneurs to start up and thrive with their businesses. And over the last 9 years, we've supported over 4,000 businesses. We do things like give out the Virgin Startup Loan, which is $25,000 loan at 6% interest. Great to take a look at if you're a startup founder looking for working capital. We also have lots of free and very low-cost programs, including free meetups monthly, and then master classes and other resources to support startup founders like yourselves. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my fellow judges. I have here with me today Naomi Blair, lead product developer at Marks & Spencer's, Kitiri, the founder at Yumbles, Ross Mitchell, London Smoke and Cure managing director, and Liz Morgan, head of food, wine, and spirits at Fortnum & Mason. So the format's quite simple. We'll have 3 finalists today, and they'll each get 5 minutes to pitch their product, and then another 5 minutes for the judges to ask them questions. So I'd like to welcome our first finalist. We have Beth Garner from Britzels.
Thank you. Breaker break. Oh, there we go. It works now. Thank you for having me. This is such a big deal. My name is Beth, and I'm with Britzels, a pretzel company. And before I go into that, let me just tell you that I knew when I moved to England that I was going to start a company. I had a couple pre-revenue, but no minimal viable product. But with my pretzels, I kept having these tiny wins that allowed me to keep going, keep taking action, keep hustling, and most importantly, figure out a way to go over or around different hurdles. So the result is I'm here today with you with Britzels. We are a premium, hard, crunchy sourdough pretzel piece company. And the artisan flavor of cinnamon kick is so unusual. I marinate them in butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, garlic powder, and then this hint of cayenne pepper. And we did a rebrand in June, and I was at the Blenheim Food Festival, and one of the customers was like, oh my God, this messes with you. I've never tasted anything like this. And it was sort of like this joyful expression. And then I also have this Simply Salted, which is a loyal, lovely, traditional, simply pieces of pretzel with the white salt granules that complement the creamy interior of the hard pretzel. So that is Britzels. We had our first sale January 31st, 2021. And then you think about what is the unmet need? What am I addressing? And Britzels addresses an extraordinary, indulgent, giftable snack. And this is something that is selling tremendously well in the U.S. Hershey's just bought Dots Pretzels for $2.1 billion, so that's the pretzel company and the manufacturer. What are my unique selling points? And I just think about the versatility that goes on with these pretzels. I love them, grown-ups love them, of course, but then my children love them, and then they take them to school for snack, or they take them to school and swap them with their buddies because the kids love them and they get to try something different. So it works well with that. On the other side of like who you're going to pair it with, it's lovely with coffee or tea in the morning, like around 10 or so, but also at the end of a day, it's lovely with a cocktail or a pint. And even a couple weeks ago, we were in North Devon, and we had some champagne and the Simply Salted, and I'm telling you, it was so lovely. It was so nice. So that it goes well with a lot of different things. But then I think what really the lead for me, and this may be different for others, is this unusual flavor pairing of the sweet and savory, and then, at the end, hello, it's a little spicy, but not too much. It's just a hint. So those are my unique selling points. I think about how you would want to know how it's selling. Where's this need being met? First of all, Dalesford Farm Shop and Soho Farmhouse are my biggest customers. Soho Farmhouse is doing well in the deli, in the cinema, and in their rooms. I have it at 2 or 3 high-end pubs. And last week I just secured Jeremy Clarkson's new brewery, Hawkstone. So we're and then the refillery in Bath that orders 55 kilos that I also got. So we got a lot going on and a lot of potential. I think my goal, short-term and long-term goals. My short-term goal is I need support to scale a profitable business and grow my presence in the UK, which ties into my long-term goals of being an attractive brand for a multinational food and beverage to acquire and grow their footprint. So I hope I covered everything, and I hope I didn't go too quickly, but thank you very much, and I'll open it up to questions.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. I guess my key question would be, what are your plans for the range? So obviously we've got a 2-flavor range at the moment. What are your thoughts for the future?
So my plan is to, I think the most important goal right now is to locate a manufacturer so that I can continue to scale a profitable business. And then once that is done, then you take a look at fabulous new flavors, like not new to like honey mustard, it's going to kill it, ranch, barbecue, and then you make them smaller so that you can fit them better in pubs and also airlines. So I think one challenge and then the next is.
Okay,
thank you.
Hi there, Beth. Thanks very much. Really energetic presentation. It's a fantastic product. So I'm interested in, how you're currently manufacturing. I see it's in the USA and Britain, and how you plan to scale that and some of the challenges that you might think you've got to overcome to achieve that scale.
So I think that I've already addressed the challenge of scalability, and I spent 8 months looking for a UK pretzel producer, and because I really wanted to have as few air miles as possible on my food. And what I have really learned, and through support of industry experts, is that it was a situation of reinventing the wheel. And then I didn't want to address the European market of pretzel manufacturers because of Brexit. So right now we are looking at a manufacturer in the US. So that's my plans for scaling it. And then I still have, I have some really wonderful customers, but I have room to grow, and I'm in conversations with 2 different distributors. So we're on the journey. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Sorry, just to clarify on that. So long term, you're still looking to manufacture them in the US, or would the ideal be to eventually manufacture in the UK?
As soon as it makes smart business sense to do it in the UK, I want it done in the UK. It's called Britzels, right? I'm bringing my American favorite childhood snack. So that would be the coolest, best thing. And I feel like that would have the most pack for the punch, or power for the punch, whatever the expression is.
Okay, thank you.
Are you planning on launching these in the US, or is it a UK-only product?
So that's a great question, and I think that I would only address that situation if they were killing it in the UK. I think you'd have to relook at the story in the back of the package, because the back of the package tells about the American coming to England and I missed my pretzels. But if the packaging is attractive and people like them, and this meets the market need, I'm open to that opportunity.
And you mentioned that the flavors you're looking at, things like ranch and barbecue. Do you have any plans to create flavor profiles which are adapted to the UK market?
I think that would be a really smart thing to do, but I don't think I would do that alone, because I have my American background, and what I would want to be is culturally sensitive to flavors that are really popular and would work well here.
Why the certain shape? Because this is different from pretzel shapes in the U.S. So how did you come by that?
Okay, so that's a great question. It was just honestly, it was a business decision. There's a similar small company in the U.S., and I had a friend who owned 3 or 4 stores that were like a Panzer, sort of high end on the deli side. And he said to me, Beth, I just took them in because I really liked the woman, and I did not think they were going to sell, and now I can't keep them in stock. So I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I saw something that was successful, and I said, let's give it a try here. So I wish it was really something fabulous and amazing, but it's just kind of what happened.
Any more questions? Go ahead.
Just one more question for me. What do you think are your main challenges to achieving the growth that you want to achieve?
I think we're onto something. I think there's going to be a certain point where capital is going to become very uncomfortable. But I think the greatest challenge is finding that producer, right? Like, I can't take over the pretzel global universe in my kitchen or in a small 500 square foot space. That's part of the motivation of why I applied to this contest was I need to be with experts, people who are much more experienced and seasoned. So my enthusiasm is great, but we need more than that this time. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Beth. Thank you. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Rumble Romagnov on chili number 5. If you can speak up.
Yeah, I will.
You've met this fellow, right?
Hello.
Yes.
Anyone here like food? Good. Sharing those great moments with friends and family and loved ones around the barbecue, at the dinner table, even at events. Isn't it marvelous? And sharing's quite important, right? Love those moments together. And since lockdown, traveling. Have you been on holiday this year? Hope you have, because it's so great, so incredible to go and look what other people are doing. How are they cooking? What spices are they using? What techniques are they using in the kitchen? And then you bring them back, don't you, to your friends and family and say, hey, look, this is how I make jerk chicken. This is how I make sriracha, tofu. But we want it healthy, don't we? We do want it healthy. We've got our, loved ones kind of looking after us, and we're looking after our children and trying to make sure they're full of good things, not bad, nasty things. And it's not just about health, is it? It's provenance. Provenance. Where does the stuff going into my food come from? And that's pretty important. I don't know if you've taken Italian tomato off the vine and really smelt it. It smells so good. Or a fresh English carrot come out of the ground. We want it fresh. Do we want it fresh? Do we want it fresh? I hope we do. A lot of what I see is not so fresh. I'm interested in fresh. And we like things to look beautiful, don't we? We love beautiful, elegant, creative packaging. And that's quite important to me. But we want it to be sustainable, really sustainable, to look after the next generation. Because we're leaving our mark, and our kids will have to grow up, and we want them, to be cool. So, I like working with little people. Have you seen the little people? Huge corporations are great, but they are looking at, after their shares and things like that, share prices. The little people are doing things right, and they're not cutting corners because they believe in what they're doing. All of these brands, but not just brands, suppliers, partners, and even the end customer, the whole supply chain. And that's what people want. Look at London. I've just, walking around London, all the markets. I was at the carnival last week. The jerk chicken stands. It's all incredible. It's back to how it was before the major markets. And why not have some fun while we're doing it, huh? This is such a great industry. Are you having fun? Come on, guys. You having fun? Hey, yeah. Come on. This is great, just walking around eating food and getting paid for it. Incredible. So, welcome to Chili number 5. Join the revolution. We do what we love. We love creating incredible sauces from around the world, traveling around, speaking to people, making great sauces, and not leaving too big a footprint, you know? The market, cooking from home, interior design, spicy sauces, international flavors, a bit of exotic flavors, and sustainability. These are exploding trends. Bang, bang, bang. They are exploding. They're all up 5%, 10% year on year. I mean, we're talking about billions going into this. We, want to turn the condiment company on its head, and we want to do it right, and we want to give people a choice, and we want to give great packaging so people can give things as gifts to others and feel proud on their table, and wow their friends. So we're ready. We created these sauces by looking on Google and finding out what people were searching for. Google's kind of quite an interesting software to use. How many people are looking for chipotle sauce every month? 110,000. How many people are looking for peri-peri sauce each month? 60,000 per month. How many people are looking for jerk sauce? 7,000 a month. Harissa, 27,000. Sriracha, 140,000. So we came along and said, right, that's what you're all looking for. We will make it, but make it good, gourmet, and healthy. I think it's about time to bring out the sauce.
You can, you might want to.
Sorts of packaging.
Wow.
Travel size. To keep it at all times.
Thank you very much, guys, for listening, and we're ready for any Q&A.
Hi.
Who's first?
Can you let us know where you're ranged at the moment and which products are selling the best for you out of this quite extensive range of formats?
This seems to be very, very popular. It's a gift set, a chili oil gift set. Andrea is one of our chefs from northern Italy. Bizarrely, we get the virgin olive oil from Greece. But Andrea, it's a family recipe he's brought, and it sells very well in the UK. As for the sauces, probably the big ones are Mexican Fury. We've got a Devilish Dijon. That's very good. Sriracha, obviously, is a classic. Harissa goes very well. And then these, you can see, are the limited edition sauces. There's only 50 made every month. And if they're really great, we bring them into the range. If they're not, we just, don't use them again. But the classic sauces are all here. We've got Thai, totally Thai, Chinese hot and sour. We've got Sriracha, cha-cha-cha. We've got Mexican Fury, Jamaican Jerk, Forever Fala, Indian sauce. Perfect Peri-Peri is huge, and it goes out to a lot of Portuguese buyers, certainly in France and in Portugal. So yeah, we are doing a lot online, B2C. We've got a website in 8 languages. We're top of Google we've got 1 million impressions in the last 18 months. So we're very strong there. We do big events, we do shoots. We've got 25,000 images, GIFs and videos from all these shoots to help us with our social media. We're followed by 15,000 people. We have a TV cooking channel, and we're having a lot of fun with it, really.
Thank you. So what is your primary focus gifting and
80% gifting,
Okay.
and then about 10% barbecue at the moment, and about 10% subscription.
Okay. And what kind of retail price?
£10.
Okay.
And it has 6 health supplements in there. So
Right.
we've got Korean ginseng, we've got maca, we've got inulin, we've got fenugreek, we've got guarana. So these are usually quite expensive health supplements that kind of make you feel alive with chili number 5.
You spoke a lot about being sustainable and having a smaller impact on the earth. What do you do to make sure or to quantify that?
Okay, so we're not completely there yet, but everything's in glass, or pretty much 90% of the collection is glass and cardboard. The only problems we have is the inners of the gift sets, but the next range for Christmas will have reused foam, so that's good. We've won that battle. We're carbon neutral by paying money for that. And what else? Reusing. We've got a whole social media campaign on social media to reuse the boxes. So I don't know how you can reuse this, but maybe we could put them in there. Or some brushes if you're a painter, or some makeup sticks if you're into doing makeup. So we've had loads of competitions and ideas about reusing things, and that's really important for us. As for being completely sustainable, we want to be there 2024, which means changing the foam, and there's some landfill-friendly pouches that restaurants like that we don't know how to deal with because the sauce lasts 18 months, but the pouches only last 6 months. So we're kind of waiting for the market to pick up there.
Sorry, another question. With you mentioned the recipes are all fresh. Then how do you? What's your? You said your shelf life's 18 months.
Yes.
What's your manufacturing process?
So pH under 4,
Uh-huh.
and obviously everything's bottled at 85 degrees. So it's a pasteurization technique. So a lot of sauce companies roast all the herbs, they buy tinned tomatoes, they get crushed flattened garlic from China, and we're just not into that. So hence the price is quite, well, we're probably the most expensive chili sauce in the world, but it's full of good stuff, and we know where everything came from.
I'm a chili head. I love chili.
Yes.
And I love fresh.
So do I.
Good. But I'm also a manufacturer. So can you just tell us a bit more about your manufacturing processes, the team that you've got, how that operates, who's doing what?
Yeah, absolutely. So we use, for the big stuff, the condiment company in West Sussex. Is it West Sussex? So Georgina and her team are doing all the big stuff for us. And then we've got a kitchen in Kentish Town, which allows us to get to the takeaway market, reaching about 2 million people. And what they're doing is, if you've seen the minis, they will get the minis with their takeaway. So if you've got, a jerk, you might have a jerk sauce. If you have a Chinese, you might have the Chinese sauce, or you mix and match. So we can do the gift sets and the more fiddly stuff in Kentish Town, and all the big stuff we can do through a really good, incredible factory, Georgina, the condiment company.
So you bottle this, or your team bottle this, or it's bottled elsewhere and you buy in?
No, we make and bottle.
Yeah.
Just looking for a bottling machine, actually, one of those incredible 10 grand machines that allow you to bottle thousands of bottles every second.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you. Rumble.
So I'd like to welcome our last finalist to the stage, Crystal Baker from Lux Wells. Yeah, I'll put it on the table for you. Just make sure you speak up. It's a little.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. My name is Crystal, and I am the founder of Luxwells. So Luxwell stands for Luxury Intertwined with Wellbeing, and our brand is a botanical infused water, so water infused with flowers. We have 3 flavors: lavender and pear, hibiscus and mint, and rose and honey. And the concept of how I came up with the idea, I struggle to drink water. I find it to be quite bland. And when I was pregnant and after I'd had my daughter, I was very mindful of taking the best care of my body as I could and having everything natural. And also just drinking a lot of water. And I had a big jug with an hour trying to drink enough water, and I just wasn't drinking enough, and trying to do smoothies, and it just wasn't really exciting. Tried all of the other mainstream waters infused with fruit. I did always find that there was sort of like an aftertaste, so when you smell it, it smells quite fragrant, like the ingredient that it says it's going to be, and when you taste it, it doesn't really follow through. And I realised a lot of it was with flavourings and additives, and so Luxwells is made using only real flowers, so there are no artificial colours or flavours or preservatives used in them. All of the beverages are handmade in the UK, and so far we've launched 3 months ago, so we're very new, and we've just won 3 Great Taste Awards for each of the flavours. So when putting the flavours together, I was mindful to try to make it quite distinctive and different to what's already on the shelf. It's mostly, I was finding, with fruit, not very much with flowers. There is a lot coming up with gins, for example, but less with water. So I wanted to try to make it be an experience where you can hydrate, but also enjoy the experience. I'm finding a lot as well, people maybe who are trying to cut down on alcohol consumption are also taking an interest in Luxwells. And if you're looking also for a low to no alcohol, sometimes people are considering this as well. Currently working with a few chefs, trying to look at pairing the beverages with food, the way you would pair wine with your meal, just to give a different alternative to something new. Any questions?
Great, thank you. Any questions, judges? Go ahead.
Great, thank you. Lovely product. A similar question, I think, to I've asked others. So can you just talk me through your manufacturing process, where you're sourcing your ingredients from, how you put them together?
Okay, so manufacturing, they're all handmade at the moment. So there's a kitchen space that I use in Bermondsey. So it's a London-based company. And at the moment I'm looking at manufacturers because I'm wanting to get into retailers. So that's a few manufacturers that I'm speaking with at the moment. And the ingredients, I'm sourcing them mostly from the UK, but because obviously with flowers in the UK they are seasonal, so there is ingredients company that I use that are sourcing some of the products. For example, the rose in Bulgaria as well, it's quite popular. Also making sure that the ingredients are as authentic as possible. Obviously finding with the flowers is determined by the season and the weather, so just making sure that we're getting consistency in flavour.
And the water?
So the water, so it's filtered at the moment, and so I was playing between spring water, so just testing between all of the differences. But at the moment it's filtered. But I think once we go into a manufacturer, I'm going to look at using spring water because I'm thinking it probably would enhance the flavour slightly.
And where are you currently selling?
So predominantly online, but we have recently been stocked in Panzers in St John's Wood, and also a store called Ben's. So they've got 3 locations, so one in Primrose Hill, Notting Hill and Kings Road, Chelsea. And there's another store called Rarebit in Elephant Park. So at the moment we're doing different pitches. So I'm pitching to some other well-known retailers at the moment. Selfridges recently and Planet Organic, So we're just sort of trying to get into stores and raise the brand awareness.
Okay, and is your primary focus retail?
I think so. Starting off online was the initial intention, and then sort of the delis, the farm shops. But I think as well a combination also trying to get into stores and just making it easily accessible for people. I think once people are aware that the brand is there, then they can follow with their feet how they prefer to get the product, whether it's in store as part of their general impulse shop, or whether they prefer to just order it as a bigger order and have it delivered to them at home.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And sorry, one more question.
Of course.
Your SKUs, is it all this size, or do you
Yes, so at the moment I've launched with the 250ml bottles, and I thought I'll just start off with that based on the initial intention to encourage better hydration. So personally I would maybe have a bottle at my desk, a bottle in the car, a bottle at my bedside, and because I wasn't really enjoying drinking water, I'd have them scattered everywhere and not really drinking them, and maybe carry them and the weight. So I've started off with a smaller size, but I am also looking at doing either a 500ml bottle, which some people have said maybe something a bit bigger, but also maybe looking at a 1 litre, so people could just have it in the fridge and just kind of pour out as and when they wish. Yeah.
Any more questions?
And what's the price point of 250?
So it's £3.95 per bottle.
What would be your dream outcome for your brand?
The dream outcome would be for it to be as well known and well regarded as the mainstream water beverage brands out there. And just really trying to kind of start off in the UK and then obviously working its way worldwide would be the intent. Getting a lot of interest from the Middle East as well, especially for the rose ingredients, and also because they're using a lot of those ingredients in their cooking, cuisine, and then their sweet products. So it's just things that go well with what they already enjoy as part of their cultural preference as well. But also because it's a British brand, working it in terms of introducing it to a UK market in terms of how you can have it with your everyday meals. I know because the flavours are less paired with food, sometimes people are wondering, if I have this, what will I have it with? What does it complement in terms of meals? Which is why I'm working with a chef at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
Just a
Last
little
one.
bit more on that actually. So do you see, if you were to get kind of investment and be able to scale up production, would you see it as becoming more of a mass market brand and going into multiple retailers, or do you see it as staying quite high end?
I do want to keep it. I still want it to be available to. It's more. I would say that the product right now is a high end product, but I think it's more high end because it's used with glass, for example. I'm very mindful to try and stay away from plastic. And making sure that it's recyclable and people can reuse it for other purposes as well. So at the moment, it's a premium brand. I'd like to sort of keep it that way, but I think with time, as I scale, I think I could make the price point a bit more affordable to maybe see how that goes in other stores as well. I mean, from doing exhibitions such as this, it's getting a lot of feedback in terms of where people are located and what they'd like, and obviously just marrying up where people are versus the stores that are in the area. So I think keeping it open at the moment, but still premium.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikki. So thank you guys very much for those great presentations. Judges are going to go away to deliberate, so we'll come back at 4:30 to announce the winner. The first prize winner will get 6 months of support and mentorship from Virgin Startup, as well as a special marketing and PR package from the Specialty and Fine Foods Fair, and a post here next year. So hopefully I'm going to bring back Nicola.